Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here, and I just got out of the midnight screening of the new film Silent House, and it's actually 1:46 now, so it's pretty late, but I'm doing a, review right when I got out of it. And basically, the movie is a remake. I have not seen the original version. I don't know if the original version is out on DVD yet in the US or has even come out yet. I know some people said they have seen it though. The basic movie though stars Elizabeth Olsen, who is in I can never remember exactly how the movie is. It's like Marcy, Mary May, something like that. And she did a really good job. She's Mary-Kate and Ashley's younger sister, who, I always liked Full House. I always liked Mary-Kate and Ashley. I liked, some of those movies like Double Double, Toil and Trouble, but she is way more, I mean, she has way more range. I mean, I don't know if Mary-Kate and Ashley could do this kind of acting. I don't think they really ever have done, like, really serious stuff, but she's really good. This really strong performance in this movie. Of course, though, when the movie was over, people are all like, because it has a very, I'm not ruining anything, but it has a very different kind of ending, and a lot of people all like, what the weirdest movie, and then they were all going to people who were working the movies, that one woman in concession, don't see Silent House, it sucks, and they were all like going on and on about it. I don't know, I thought it was very creepy. The basic idea, though, is it's done in the style of a one take, kind of like Alfred Hitchcock's Rope, which actually, has a couple cuts in the movie, when it goes to the wall, and certain items it actually cuts, but it's actually done, basically in the style of one take. And there were, a couple hidden cuts. I mean, I don't know if there technically were, I'm pretty sure there were in a couple instances, when they went to the wall, a couple different times they would cut, but the style though really works. The style makes it really feel like you're in this house with her, experiencing what she's going through. It really has that kind of vibe, and I definitely have a feeling that if this does well, or either way, I feel like there's going to be more movies done like this, these one take kind of, to make it seem real. I'd like to see like a zombie film about people, like almost like a Night of the Living Dead kind of movie, but done like this. And I think it could work. I think there's a lot of different style movies, because I'm guarantee, the found footage thing took off after like Blair Witch, and but I think this kind of style is going to start to be something we see now more often, probably with more horror movies. It probably wouldn't work with like a comedy. I don't know, it depends. It just has to be a certain type of movie. But the basic idea is that Elizabeth Olsen's character and her father, basically they lived in this house years ago, and they're back there trying to fix it up to sell it. And I guess the house was rented out to people or something like that. I don't know if somebody was staying in it or family members were staying in it and they were leaving, and they basically have to go and, fix the place up. But there's been no one in the house for, I guess, a year or so, so there's been squatters and people like that. So the house is basically, all the windows are boarded up, all the doors have locks on them, like, padlocks. So basically what happens is she's in there with her father, packing her stuff up, cleaning up the rooms, and basically she hears a thump and something happens and the father's missing. And she basically cannot get out of the house, because the key to the front door is missing and all the other windows, everything is locked. So the basic movie is her following her around the entire movie, just sort of like this, in a lot of different sequences when she's hiding and things like that. I found it very effective. I think it could have really failed if the actress that they had play this couldn't pull it off. I thought she did a really good job making this seem very realistic. It has like a kind of a weird ending. I have an idea of what was going on. Like I said, don't want to ruin anything to this. I will say though, some people might, if you have like motion sickness and dizziness, you may get a little bit of that, because there's a couple sequences, specific like one or two, that are very shaky. Way more than Cloverfield. One sequence when she's running, and that's the only thing that I think some people might not like, is the shakiness. But for the style, though, making it be this one take, or seem like one take, really did work. I was really wondering how it was going to work. I really need to see the original now, to see how they did it. I heard something about the original, the story was a little bit different, but I don't know, this whole idea, though, really was pretty creepy. But like I said, the basic idea is her in this house, and I don't want to give away any more details about, what happens in the movie, without ruining anything. But the style really worked. I thought it definitely would be a, some people say I rate movies too high. I definitely would say this is at least a 4 stars. I know I rate a lot of things high, but this really was something different. And I know it's a remake, so it's not that different since it's, taking this style. The directors of this did Open Water, which I liked the first Open Water. I actually sort of liked the sequel a tiny bit. But I think this is worth seeing. I don't know why everyone who was leaving it was going, this sucks, this is horrible. I don't know. I think it's because it's a little bit like when a movie has a certain type of end to it or something and people don't get something or understand exactly everything, then they automatically just say it sucks. And I don't know, it's very creepy. The music, there's very little music, but the music that they used was very cool. I don't know, all around, I really like this movie. I think this is worth watching. You are going to feel a little tense with this movie. It definitely, like I said, makes you really feel like you're in there going through all of this, especially the way it was shot. It's basically like you're almost there right behind her watching everything as it's happening. I liked it. Not a perfect movie, but really pretty cool, something different, definitely worth watching. And anyway, though, thanks a lot for watching, for subscribing, and I'll be doing a review of, I forget what the name of that. I think 1,000 Words, Eddie Murphy's movie. That'll be up in the next day or so, too. Anyway, though, I'll see you guys later. Bye.